Hello everybody, so today we're going to be doing a Frankenfurter look inspired by Courtney Act and the film Rocky Horror Picture Show. To start out, I used my Rimmel Matte Perfection foundation in light porcelain and put this all over my face with a foundation brush, and I then blended it with my beauty blender. Next, I used a contour palette to contour my face, making my cheekbones, my nose and my forehead more prominent. I used darker colours on places that I want to go in and light colours on places I want to come out. Since I am going to be drawing on new eyebrows, I made my nose contour go a little bit higher up than I usually would. I also used my contour palette to make my jaw sharper. I used my Collection 2000 concealer in light to make my highlight. I highlighted above my cheekbones, on my nose, my chin and my jawline to bring them forward, and then blended them out again with my beauty blender, blending the light first and then the dark. I next used my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Translucent to set the highlight. I put this on a sponge and then just put this over everywhere that I highlighted. I'm going to leave it to then cook to my face. This is a technique used in theatre makeup quite a lot to set your foundation. I then used a black gel eyeliner and an angled brush to draw on my new eyebrows, making them quite pointy since this is what Frankenfurters look like. And you can still kind of see my real eyebrows underneath where I glued them down, but that's okay since we're going to be going over it with quite a lot of black, so you won't be able to see it very much in the end. Once I drew the outline, I just filled them in. Then used a big fluffy brush to blend away all of the translucent powder after it had cooked to my skin's temperature. I then used a purple coloured eyeshadow from an MUA palette. I then went over the top with a pink just to make the colour more vivid. Using Creep from the Urban Decay Naked palette, I went around the pink and a bit up above my natural brow bone. This is to create the smoky effect. This is where I went over the top of my natural eyebrows so you couldn't really see it. I also went around the eye a little bit and down my nose a little bit just to give my face a bit more of a dramatic look. Then I blended it out with a big fluffy brush. I also brought it underneath my eye a little bit. Then with a black eyeliner I just lined my eyes. This is for when I put my false lashes on, and then I just blended out even more. Next I applied a fine pink glitter all over my eyelid using eyelash glue. I then went over the top of this with larger chunks of glitter. They were also in pink. Once again I blended everything out. Next, using the black eyeliner again, I drew on the big dramatic line seen in Courtney Act's recreation. Then I applied mascara and false lashes. I applied 2 sets to each eyes, first a smaller set and then a more dramatic set. Both were from eBay, it's something like 99p for a set of 10. And I apply my eyelashes with liquid latex since it makes them stay on easier and for longer. I then used Snazaroo's Clown White to draw on my new brow bone. This was acting as my highlight, and then I blended everything out again. Once again, using the gel eyeliner and an angled brush, I went around my lips to draw on my new lips and then filled them in. I made the edges pointy for a more dramatic look. I also added on the little line and curl as seen in Courtney Act's recreation. Then I used a bronzer just to go over everywhere that I contoured. I did quite a dramatic amount of bronzer since with theatre makeup it tends to be very dramatic. I then went over the top of the contour on my cheeks with a blush because as seen in both Frankenfurter and Courtney Act's recreation, it's very bright and red and brown around there. Using my fluffy brush again, I'm just blending everything out just to make it a little bit softer around the eyes. Then I'm taking my hair down and making it a little bit messy in Rocky Horror Picture Show style, blending my cheeks again, and that's the finished look.